Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bruno Morgante. I hope that I am spelling your name correctly.
Yeah, Bruno Morgante.
Bruno Morgante, perfect. So, comme il a dit, je vais continuer en français. Bruno Morgante est notre speaker note. Il va nous parler de mentorship et nous allons beaucoup apprendre de lui. So, if you have any type of question, you can ask that, type that question in the chat, and once he's done, he will probably check the chat and answer you. And if not, you can also, if you want, raise your hand and he will answer you. So I will let you take, I'm giving I'm handing you the mic. Go ahead, Mike. Bruno, not Mike.
Well, thank you, Sylvie. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for having me here. It is a great pleasure to be here, surrounded by business analysts. You probably don't know that when I started my corporate career, I was a business analyst myself, and for a few months, not a long period. At a certain point, the About section of my LinkedIn profile stated this. I am a business analyst. I serve as a liaison between two groups of people. One group understands what they don't manage, and the other group manages what they don't understand. As you can imagine, I didn't keep this online for too long. But today I am here to talk about something else, something that is very close to my heart. 3 promotions in 3 years. So imagine this. You are just back to work from your parental leave. And it has been roughly 1 year. It's one of those European countries with a long parental leave. You are back in your previous role. You know the job, you know your colleagues. It's okay. It is your job. It is not bad. Now you are preparing yourself, setting up yourself in how to go with it with a new child, but in general, you know the job, you are okay with it. Now what happens is that after a while, you start feeling something, you start feeling like if something is missing, you start to feel stuck. That's the right word. You have some doubts about your career and your future. You wonder, could this be better? Could my life be better? How could I get where I believe I have to be? You have this feeling that you want to grow in your career. You want to develop yourself. You want to be recognized for who you are and what you can provide. You want to have a better life. And then, exactly in that moment, COVID-19 arrives. Now, on top of the thoughts you were having, on top of those feelings, now you start worrying about your children, about your family, about your friends, about your life. This is when you see an opportunity. Your company is launching a mentoring program. Should you apply? Could this be helpful for your situation? These are some of the thoughts that you are going through. From one side, you would like to join, but at the same time, you are a little bit afraid to apply. You don't know, is it the right thing for you? So you think about it, and after a few days, you decide to go for it. You carefully craft your application letter, and before the deadline, you apply. The waiting period is 2 weeks, roughly 2 weeks. 2 very long weeks. 2 weeks of trepidation. 2 weeks in which you are having a mix of emotions. On one side, you are nervous. You think, will I be accepted? And if yes, will I be good enough for it? On the other side, you are excited because if they take you, well, your life could really improve. Time pass, and after these 2 very long weeks, you receive an email, and you are in, and you are happy. Now it's time to go through the preparation steps. There is the onboarding, the training, you go through the materials, and of course you feel excited. The hype is growing, and then they assign you your mentor, and this is when you discover that your mentor is different than you. He has a different background, different skills, is from a different country, and you approach it in a positive way with a lot of curiosity and hope for the future. So you start this journey that way. And step by step, month after month, you start discovering yourself. You start improving yourself. And after a while, you start improving your leadership skills as well. You love what you are becoming step by step. You feel confident. You believe in yourself. You realize you are not anymore the same person that you were a few months ago. You have learned a few important steps, the processes, the tools. You feel strong and you are proud of yourself. And of course, you want to continue this journey. A journey that gave you 3 promotions in 3 consecutive years. A journey that made you becoming a mentor yourself. A journey that is still ongoing and that potentially could continue for the rest of your life. This happened to me. This is the story of one of my mentees, a fantastic person who flourished and became an inspiration for many people around her. This is the power of mentoring. Let me tell you something about me as a mentor. I am a mentor for more than 7 years now. I had over 100 mentees in all this period of time. Some of them are with me since the beginning, so these are very long relationships that potentially will continue forever. Others have been with me for maybe a couple of sessions only. The 2 main areas that I'm focusing on are project management, portfolio management, PMO, how to set up, build, develop, and lead a project management office. And on the other hand, it is about leadership, personal development, career development, and how to navigate the corporate environment. I do mentor on several platforms, mostly online. And actually, I started being a mentor online during the COVID-19 period. But there is also something else that I do, which is designing, developing, and leading mentoring programs. The last one is the one that we set up at the PMO Leader. It is the first mentoring program for PMO leaders and PMO professionals. Now, let me tell you, what is mentoring? And here, definitely, I would start with the definition. Mentoring is a relationship in which a more experienced individual, the mentor, shares their knowledge, expertise, and wisdom with a less experienced person, the mentee, who wants to derive benefit from it. In the definition, you see it already. The mentee is the person that wants to derive benefit from it. So you see already one of the mechanisms that I will tell you more about in a few minutes, which is the mentee driving the relationship. What you don't see into the definition is that actually mentoring is giving benefits to both the mentee and the mentors. And I'll go into it in a few moments. In my opinion, the best representation of mentoring is the figure of Virgilio, or Virgil in English, in the Divine Comedy. Virgil guides Dante during his journey through hell and the purgatory. Virgil is a guide. He explains what they are going through, what they see step by step while they walk through the journey. He supports Dante. He protects him during all the path. Virgil is a mentor. Now, what is not mentoring? There are plenty of things that are not mentoring. In a nutshell, mentoring is not legal, medical, financial advices or services. It is not coaching, even if there could be some elements of coaching in mentoring relationships. It definitely is not a place for advertising or for customer acquisition purposes. These are other things. It is not mentoring. Now, what's in it for a mentee? You can already imagine, and you saw it or also in the definition, mentees are the one gaining something. And they gain a lot. I tried to summarize this into 5 bullet points. Knowledge and skills development, career guidance and support. These are most of the times the two reasons why someone is going to look for a mentor. What you have seen in the story that I shared before, that was actually the trigger. It's like, I feel stuck in my career. I think I need the support into getting better, into developing my skills. And this very frequently is the starting point. Definitely, this is what you gain as a mentee. I have a testimonial that I want to share with you. Is a quote from one of my mentees, Elena. And it goes with great expertise, care, and empathy, Bruno guided me in gaining clarity over my career path, then provided invaluable advice on how to successfully navigate a complex organizational change and how to situate myself in that environment. We work on how to approach change with a healthy and growth-oriented mindset. Next point, increased confidence. This is where, during the journey, you will always experience an increase of self-confidence, something that you might already have at the beginning, but it will get better and better over time. Here, again, I have another quote, another testimonial that I want to share with you from another mentee of mine, Krista, which says, having the opportunity to learn from the best has made a substantial change in my career. I moved up in different positions during the years. Bruno had a great impact on me. He was always there for me, guiding me in different situations. He helped me to discover myself, to be more confident, and then to work on my leadership style and team management. Next, expanded network. This is clear. You can imagine, well, the mentor is an additional piece of the network of the mentee. That's true. But the mentor is also someone that can take you and bring you, put you in connection with so many other people. A good example that I can share here is something that happened to me a few months ago when Valentina, one of my mentees, she was still finishing her master degree at the university, and she wanted to get in touch with few people in the main consultancy companies, and of course I checked into my network, and I found some valid names that I could share with her, and I put her in contact with them. They all loved helping her, and now she created those connections, which she will have for the future. She would have never had them without being my mentee. Next and last one is the personal growth. This is something that, of course, it goes beyond the professional growth, the career development. This is how you grow as a person, as an individual. And there is so much that you obtain from mentoring. And again, here there is one quote, the last testimonial that I want to share from another mentee, from Sandra, which is, I owe Bruno a lot. He helped me to set the path I want to follow, show me possible further directions of development, and all the time he was challenging and supporting me. Now, not only I am closer to achieving my goals, I'm actually doing it. Often before I do something, I wonder, what would Bruno ask me? How would he challenge my approach? So we have seen what's in it for the mentees. Now, what about the mentor? I told you before, this concept of the mutual growth. It is not just the mentee that is benefit from the relationship, it is also the mentor. So how could you summarize what's in it for the mentor? Again, I tried to put 5 items. There is a lot. We could talk for hours on each of them. I'll try to go through the 5 of them. First one, it's personally for me, the most important one, is this deep sense of fulfillment. It's something that you don't get out of your job, whatever is your job, whatever is the place you spend your time. This is something that you obtain by experiencing you helping other people you care about growing and developing. It is sometimes so deep that it might even help you answering the question, what is the purpose in our lives? It is really the number one item that I would mention if I would have to pick one thing that's in it for a mentor, is this deep sense of fulfillment. Next one, enhanced leadership skills. This is where we could talk hours on the topic. I try to condense it into 3 bullet points. Effective communication. You definitely improve in a way you communicate and you become more and more and more effective. Proper listening. Listening to understand, not to reply. This is something that a lot of people don't get. And this is so important. And when you are a mentor, this is one of the things that over time you get very good at. The last piece of the enhanced leadership skills, for sure, the last that I want to mention is the art of giving constructive feedback, which is not easy, but it's something that you have to learn while you become a mentor. Fresh perspectives. This is something I personally observe a lot when I mentor younger people, like fresh professionals, early stage careers, university students. They see things in a completely different way. And it helps me so much into look at things from another angle. You cannot imagine how many times I get questions to which I'm not able to answer, and they say, okay, that's something I have to think about before I can come back to you with a proper answer. And this process of looking at things from different angles, it is so powerful. Networking and collaboration, again, of course, as it worked for the mentee, it works for the mentor. The latest example here, I had it yesterday. Yesterday, I had a call with Ranjan, and this brilliant guy is building a new startup, and he got in touch with me via LinkedIn just with, hey, Bruno, I got your name from Julia, and Julia is another mentee of mine. And I have this idea. I would like to share it with you. Would you have time? Like, we had a chat, and it was nice to hear what he's going through. This is something that he would have never had with me if I would not have been the mentor of Julia. Next point And the fifth one and last one for this is the concept of revisiting fundamental concepts. When you look at it from my professional perspective, project management, I am in project management now since 20 years, roughly 20 years. You study things, you learn things, you apply them day to day in your work. But how many times do you go back to them to check if what you understood years ago when you first learned those things is still valid, is still your point of view? You have to go through it when you have mentees, because most of the time questions are on those fundamental concepts. So this helps you to continuously review things and improving yourself, improving your way you are thinking and you're approaching things. You saw what is mentoring, what's in it for a mentee, what's in it for a mentor. Now, if I would have to leave you with a few key takeaways, what would they be? For me, there are 3 fundamental items to remember. Number 1 is the mutual growth. This is the concept I mentioned. It's not one directional. Mentoring, it is not one directional. It's not the mentor giving to the mentee and not gaining anything. Both of them gain. Both of them gain a lot. Different things, but they both grow together. And this mutual growth, it's so powerful. And when you look at mentoring from the outside, if you have never experienced it yourself, this is where you might not expect it, but it is actually something big and important that is happening. The second concept is this ripple effect. This is where when someone starts as a mentee and they experience on their skin what you go through, what the learning process and this development process, very frequently, after a while, mentees turn into mentors and they help others because they know it's so good, so big, so important that they want to share it with others. This is the legacy of growth that you can leave behind you. So it is you helping someone that is then going to help someone that is going to help other people. And that's a way to contribute to the good in our society. And the next and last key takeaway that I would like you to take with you today is this deep fulfillment. When you have a properly working mentoring relationship, this is something that you definitely feel inside you. Experiencing the growth of the people you care about, it's so wow, it's so powerful. And it is fulfilling. Absolutely, it is fulfilling. Now, you might wonder, okay, good. How can I start? Okay, Bruno, I like this. This sounds great. How can I be part of it? How can I start? And there are various ways. Definitely, I want to share with you the 3 ways that I believe are the easy one to start with. So number 1, find a mentor. You might have already someone in your network that you consider potentially a mentor. Maybe someone that you are already following and you are inspired by, someone that you have a contact with and that you know. That might be a good way to start the conversation. And don't approach the conversation with, hey, mister, would you like to be my mentor? That doesn't really work. But try to see if you can have a proper periodic consultation with this person. And that might be a way to start a mentoring relationship. Now, eventually, you might not have someone like this in your network or around you. And then you can find a mentor online. There are so many people out there that they want to help. And there are platforms where you can find mentors. Most of them are pro bono, so for free. So you can absolutely browse around, look for someone, and potentially you will find your mentor there. The important concept to consider here, to keep in mind, is you need to be the one to start. So don't expect people to come to you, knock at your door. It's the other way around. As a mentee, you are the one in the driving position. Next, be a mentor. Maybe you already feel that you have something to share, some way to help and support the people around you. So that might be a good way to start your mentoring journey as a mentor. Again, you might have people in your network that potentially are the right fit for you, for a mentee for you. But then at the same time, you can go into these platforms and potentially be there and offer yourself as a mentor for other people in need. And the last point, the last way to start, depending on the maturity level in which you are and in the place in which you work, a possible way would be to set up a mentoring program, something that you can do for your team or potentially for your company. Now, this is not something that you do for 2 people. That would be a normal mentoring relationship. It's not something that you do for 10,000 people, but somewhere in the middle. So it depends from the needs, but that might be something that also would help not only you but people around you. I can personally help you with each of these. So I can provide you guidance, resources, support. You absolutely feel free to get in touch after the conference. And I just want to say thank you for having me. I said before to Sylvie how mentoring is close to my heart. So I definitely feel grateful to have the opportunity to talk about it and potentially to influence others. If you want to get in touch, the best place to reach out to me is my website, brunomorgante.com. Of course, you can find me also on LinkedIn. And enjoy the rest of the conference. And definitely, I cannot wait to see you progressing on your development journey.
Thank you so much, Bruno.
It's my pleasure, Sylvie.
I don't know if we have some. Okay, let me read what our participant just said. Upa said 100%, no, 100 plus mentee. Wow, that is fantastic. And Upa again said, I like the idea of mutual growth. The mentor should not enter a mentoring relationship with a superiority mindset. Then both parties can grow from the relationship. And Ethan said, thank you, Bruno. You are very inspiring. So
thank you.
I can say more than that, actually. And on my side, I will say that my key takeaways actually is only two: listen to understand, not to reply. This really applies to everyone in any kind of field, and mutual growth. And I like that. When there's a mutual, this is where you can see that everything's flourishing. So I don't know if you guys have questions. We still have a few minutes to go, or 1 or 2. Upa, Itan. Okay, Upa, yes, go ahead.
Hi, Bruno. Thank you for the wonderful talk. I guess I'm much interested to know, have you, in your 100 plus mentees that you have you had a situation whereby, now this one is a tough mentee, and how do you help them to come out of it and understand the value of what they signed up for?
Oh, there are absolutely. Absolutely. It is something that definitely can happen to you. It is important that during the initial phases of the relationship, you need to assess the person that you have on the other side of the screen or on the other side of the table. In all of the time, the mentee should be the one doing the first step. So in my case, mentees are the one approaching me and say, Bruno, I would like to have a session with you, or I would like to potentially start a journey with you. And at the beginning, I don't know them and they don't know me. They see potentially, you know, the online profile. They might think that I am the right person. And I have to say, at the beginning, it might be difficult if you are not good at reading people. Now, with all my experience, I definitely am. but it is important to go through it at the beginning. What I mean is, don't think that in 30 minutes, in 1 hour, you know if that mentee is the right one or not. But then at the same time, don't try to make something that cannot work. There are, I had examples in which I realized that the mentee was a wrong fit for me. It was not the right type of personality, and it was difficult to have a proper relationship. And I made it clear, and I said, I think you probably would do better into getting into someone else. There are also UPA cases in which I might help on some topics, but not on everything, of course. So sometimes I can give some guidance and support when someone is looking, for example, for another job and they want to know how it works. I can share my point of view based on my experience and my experience as a hiring manager. But then I know some other mentors who are specifically skilled into this, and so I frequently put the mentee in contact with them. Say, look, if you need to review your profile or your CV, I can give you some guidance, but go and speak with this person. She's fantastic. She can help you if she's available, of course. So that's the other way. It's like, don't think as a mentor that you know everything. It's not true. You don't. Important is that you potentially can direct the people into the right path.
Upa, are you satisfied? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we are at the end of this session, and we thank Bruno for his time. And we hope that next year we will be able to see each other again to talk about business analysis in Africa, because the idea is really to bring awareness about this field in Africa. So thank you.